Let's start with a simple comparison. India today has over 80,000 petrol pumps across the country. Now compare that to the EV charging infrastructure. India currently has less than 30,000 public EV charging stations, while electric vehicle adoption is growing at record speed. In simple terms, millions of EVs will soon be looking for places to charge. Which raises an interesting question. Who will own the petrol pump of the electric era? Welcome to the Success Playbook by Expetrons and Shine. Today, we are talking about EV charging infrastructure, one of the most important pieces of India's mobility transition. Joining me is Harshit Pandey, the founder of ChargeZ, a company building a connected EV charging ecosystem across India. Harshit is building ChargeZ as a unified EV charging platform, combining smart charging infrastructure, a digital platform for EV riders, and a partner network deploying charging stations across cities, highways, and fleet hubs. Harshit, great to have you here. How are you
Hey,
doing today?
hey, Jatin, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here. It's pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Thanks for taking your time, Harshit. And before, of course, we talk about the business model, I would love to understand your journey. What first drew you to the EV ecosystem, and how did you kind of get into all of this? Was there a moment when you realized that you want to be part of this backbone of the electric mobility sector?
So I'll start from my journey first, and then I'll give you a brief what clicked into my mind and how I landed up in this entire EV ecosystem. So
Absolutely.
I started out as an electrical engineer. The engineering part, as we all know, it's more about the technical things. But somewhere in my mind, I mean, like I was equally curious to know how businesses work, how businesses are built, how businesses are scaled. So this led me to pursue my post graduation, and I did my post graduation from Institute of Management Technology in finance, and then I transitioned into the finance side of the business, or you can say the strategy or business building side. The last 12 years in my work experience, I've mostly worked with multiple consulting firms, mostly in the investment banking side. And as a large part of my role, I was closely working with founders and senior management and helping them to raise funds, mostly involved in the business strategies, financial strategies part. And I mean, like I was deeply involved in like you can say building a businesses from a very early stage. So I mean, I've seen multiple businesses to build from scratch, and I mean this experiences gave me a unique lens to see what actually working on the ground, what actually not working on the ground, what can we fix, at what point of time we can do that. So
Right.
this is a bit about my journey. And when you ask me why I landed over here or what clicked me, so basically this idea came from a personal experience. Actually, last year I wanted to change my car. So just like the other normal people, I started doing R&D. I was comparing the usual options like कि डीजल की गाड़ी अच्छी है या पेट्रोल की गाड़ी अच्छी है. But at the same last year, EV vehicles also started becoming popular. People are moving to EV vehicles. So I thought, why not I'll do the R&D about EV vehicles also. So this is the beginning. So on the surface side, it looked very compelling or very interesting that EV vehicles are good. I mean, low running cost, eco-friendly, sustainable. I mean, a lot of innovations are going on in the market in this industry at this point of time. But when I started uh, digging deeper into this, a very simple question comes to my mind. Where will I charge my car? I mean, I live in Delhi NCR, and as you know that in metropolitan cities, mostly the buildings are like multi-story buildings. I mean, like tier two or tier three cities, we do not have individual houses. So that option, charging car at the individual houses in my lawn or in I mean, like in front of my house, is not applicable with
Not
me.
an option. Yeah.
Correct. And apart from that, I mean, like at any point of time, I mean, if I can do anything to charge my car at my society, but there are other places where I travel, where I go to the office. So will I find a charger? Will it be? I mean, these type of questions comes into the mind. Then it clicked then for me, and then I realizes the challenge is not about the vehicle. it's because the technology about the vehicle is evolving, and there are multiple big companies currently in the market who is working on this technology, and EV vehicle will come. But the real challenges, or the real, you can say the real challenges in the charging infrastructure. So as a user, you don't buy only a vehicle. You just have to you require a complete ecosystem. नहीं है कि एक बार हमने गाड़ी ले ली और हमारा काम खत्म. So we, as a vehicle owner, we have to take that vehicle with us for the next 10 year or 15 year. This is what clicked in my mind, and I just saw that this is a real challenge, and because one of the another factor is this sector is evolving at this point of time. And as you know, there are a lot of when I talk about current time, you can see a lot of geopolitical tension going on. Wars are going on in the Middle East. Petrol prices are increasing. We currently, as we all know, that this LPG crisis
Right.
going on. Similarly, I mean, if this war goes increasing, then crude oil prices may also increase.
True. True.
EV, I mean, green energy. If you see from the government side, also government is also pushing on the green energy. They have pushed solar energy from a very longer period of time, and now government is also pushing this EV vehicle, electric vehicle things into the market. And really feel is that the transportation is backbone of any economy. So once petrol prices or diesel prices increases, it hits all the sector. Everything started becoming, like inflation has started increasing. So why not we can replace this crude oil dependency from other countries, and we can start doing the renewable thing. So this is what it clicked into my mind, and I thought this sector is interesting, and there is a gap in between, and something great can be built.
Very interesting. Very rightly said, Harshit. I think, of course, I mean, electric vehicles are on the rise. And of course, in India, last year alone, there were 2 million electric vehicles which were sold. And in the country, of course, the infrastructure, I mean, there's less than 30,000 public charging stations. So that's roughly one charger for 200 EVs on the road. So there's a big gap in terms of how we are kind of set for the future. And I'm sure there's a lot of potential in the entire ecosystem. So how did you go from there? Like right from identifying the problem to then deciding on which part of this problem, because of course one is the charging infrastructure, and of course there are multiple layers which can be solved in this in that part of the puzzle. But how did you get onto your idea, and how did you get to kind of Charzi as a business idea? Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, when you look at it at the you can say from the top side of thing, so you see that infrastructure is lagging behind, or you only see that we are lagging in terms of infrastructure. But it is just not about the infrastructure, it is about the entire EV ecosystem. Its gap is not only the infrastructure, but as you know that the EV industry is evolving at this point of time, and we do not need only the vehicles or the infrastructure, but we need a complete ecosystem. Currently in this industry, there are a lot of players involved in the market. Like you have vehicle manufacturer, you have charger manufacturer, then we have a fleet owners, then we have software providers. We need to join these puzzles so as to get a complete ecosystem, so that the EV vehicle users do not find any difficulty in finding the charging station. So for a EV user, especially when they are buying a new EV, the decision is not about the vehicle, it's about the entire charging network, because as you know that in this fast moving world, we are not located in one place. I mean, people are traveling from one place to another for multiple things, for the work related thing, for traveling, and for many other reasons. It is not about that we only find a charger near our place. It is about we have to create a network of charger, just like the petrol pump at this point of time. Like whenever any person who is using petrol or diesel vehicle and they have to refill their vehicle, no one in this current time has to think that where will I refill my vehicle, whether you are on the city, whether you are traveling on highways, whether you are anywhere in the entire
Yeah,
country, the petrol problem, I mean, like no one is facing the petrol pump problem at least.
true,
So
true.
similarly, it is also what all things we are thinking is we need to go very strategic in order to build a charger network. So there are two three things which we have, I mean, like after doing our own R&D, we have talked to multiple EV owners, we have talked to multiple EV station owners, we have talked to various logistic players, what all difficulties they have
Hmm.
while they have vehicles. So, what I feel or what I think is that, I mean, there are two, three things which will define the future of charging infrastructure in India. So, first thing is the strategic placement of charger. Instead of randomly placing EV chargers in any place, the first thing is we need to place chargers strategically on a location. So, when I say
Hmm.
strategic location, it's about where people live, where people work, where people travel. Because what happen is currently at this point of time the demand is like limited. I mean, like we cannot say that demand is similar to the all other ICE vehicles. So we need to see where demand actually exists, like we need to identify high density areas, and slowly over the
Hmm.
period of when demand is increasing and the network increases, so uniformity across all the chargers will go. Secondly, what we feel is utilization is more important than the installation. So when we say utilization, if a charger is frequently used, then it is far more valuable than we have multiple underutilized chargers. So we need to
True.
focus on, like, if we have limited number of chargers, but we need to focus on the utilization of the charger. So these are the two things which we are keeping in our mind while expanding our EV charging network.
Very interesting. Very rightly said. I think there are also a lot of misconceptions about the EV charging infrastructure. Some people think demand is unpredictable or that running a charging station is complicated. What is the biggest myth about EV charging infrastructure that you hear from investors or entrepreneurs whom you talk to?
I think the biggest myth which I hear often is like you install a charger, demand will automatically come to you. At this current point of time, I mean, we this is not actually a reality. See, demand will definitely grow over the period of time, but at this current point of time, when the market is evolving and when this industry is shaping a certain thing, then at this point of time, you cannot say that demand will automatically come to you. In reality, it's a high demand and the location sensitive business. So as I said earlier, a charger is as good as its utilization. So it is not like you are only installing a hardware, but it is like that we need to find a right location. If we are not aligned with the user behavior, if we are not looking at the data, what is the usage pattern, or how people are often coming to that particular charging station, where is the demand coming from, what is the I mean, like, what is the repeat rate of the customer, whether the chargers are live at the most peak time. So this is what we need to look at it, and then only we can say, I mean, like, then only we can say the demand is predictable. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने चार्जर कहीं पे भी लगाया and demand will definitely move out.
Very true. Very true. And technically, anyone can install a charger, but building a network is very difficult from installing a machine. So, what makes Chargy different from someone setting an independent charger?
That I mean, like, you absolutely said it correct, that installing a charger is a very easier thing. I mean, it is there is no rocket science behind installing a charger. You just have to take the electricity connection, you just have to procure the hardware. But building a network is something different, because when you look from the user perspective, the user is not confined to one location. Users keep moving from one place to another place. So at Chargy, we are looking to create a entire community of EV charging station.
So, technically, anyone can install a charger, but building a network is very different from installing a machine. What
Yeah.
makes
So
Chargy different from someone setting up an independent charger.
That's absolutely right. Then installing a charging station is a very simple process, but the real challenge is not about the installation. It's about building a network that actually works and a network which is reliable from customer perspective. So at Chargy, we are looking at this space from an ecosystem perspective rather than just putting a hardware perspective. So our core focus is to ensure that EV user can charge their vehicle where they live, where they work, where they travel. So instead of the random deployment, we are very much focused about placing the chargers in the strategic location where demand is either high at this point of time, and or it can be or the demand can be easily generated in the future. So Chargy, we are mostly focused on the demand side of the ecosystem rather than just putting the charging station. So you can see a standalone charger often struggles because demand is very uncertain. But what we are trying to solve it here is that we are partnering with various fleet operators, cab aggregators,
Wow.
cab companies, commercial companies, so that we can pass on the demand to our network charging station. So I'll give
Wow.
you an example. So for example, we are planning to put a network of charger in a highway. So we are from Delhi NCR, there is a highway going to the Jaipur. So our aim is to build a network of charging station in some kilometers, and we whenever we partner with fleet companies, we offer them that our network of charging station is in the entire route or entire highway. So wherever required, they can charge their vehicle in any of our partner charging station. So in this way, demand generation becomes very easy, and for partners also, like they do not have uncertainty about demand. So this is what we are looking at. Like this is what we are building at this point of time. We are more focused on the demand side. And secondly, we are not building an isolated charging points. We are building an entire network.
Network.
As
Yeah.
I just said, that independent charger is will not solve the entire problem, but we need a reliable ecosystem which customer can trust in coming period of time over the period of time. So the idea is to create a connected network where EV users can seamlessly, like they can easily discover the charging station, they can access charging stations, they can charge across multiple locations from multiple payment methods, etc. Thirdly, we can say that we are a data driven company. We are doing our own data analysis. We are looking at the demand side of the business. We are looking at how demand can be generated. How we are actually in process of talking with multiple companies. We are trying to figuring out how companies and why companies are not transitioning from the IC vehicles to the EV vehicles. And for example, suppose if they want to transition from EV vehicles, then what all infrastructure they require. So we are basically doing our own data analysis so as to find out how we can generate a good amount of demand.
True. Very beautifully put, Harshad. I think it's very critical. Like demand generation is, I feel, the most essential part of creating a charging infrastructure, and giving as much predictability as possible to a charging station makes it just makes like it is the difference between like a make or break situation for the charging ROI which is being set up. So this
Correct.
is really interesting to know. And of course, for people who are new to the EV infrastructure, charging technology can of course feel more complicated. So what type of chargers exist, and where are they typically deployed?
So I'll not get into the technical side of this. I'll just explain this in a very simple way. So on the broader side, there are two type of chargers: AC chargers and DC chargers. So AC chargers, you can say these are the slow chargers compared to the DC chargers. They are typically placed where vehicles are parked for the longer duration of time. So you can find these type of chargers at home, at the high rise apartments or the residential societies, office parking areas, hotels, malls. Generally you can see these type of chargers are placed where people stays for a longer duration of time. And in this, if I say the type of connector, so basically the connectors type are similar to our phone connector. So for example, we have a C type connector, we have another kind of connector. For iPhone, we have a different kind of connector. So here also in the charging ecosystem, so vehicles have different type of connector. So mostly all the AC chargers, they are known as type 2 connectors. But there are few other like type 6 or type 7 connectors are also coming up in the market. They are also used in the AC chargers, but mostly type 2 connectors are used in the AC chargers. And when you talk about the capacity of these chargers, the capacity starts from 3.3 kilowatt is one variant, then 7.4 kilowatt, 11 kilowatt, 22 kilowatt. So these are 4 or 5 variants of the capacity of the charger which are widely used in India.
Interesting.
Then we have DC chargers. These are the fast chargers. They are faster than the AC chargers. So these kind of chargers are designed for quick charging when you are on move and when you do not have much time. And typically you find them on highways at or the commercial hubs or the fleet depots at fuel stations. So within DC chargers, the widely used connector is Type 2 connector, but in DC, the widely used connector is CCS2 connector. So before CCS2 connector, it is called CCS2, Combined Charging System. So before CCS2 connector, earlier the connector used was known as GBT connector. But as of now, CCS2 connector is becoming a standard connector for the DC charger. And when I talk about their capacity, the DC chargers start from 30 kilowatt. Then the upper side is like 30 kilowatt, 60 kilowatt, 90 kilowatt, 120 kilowatt, and it goes up to 480 kilowatt kind of a thing. And I mean, like, 480 kilowatt also, I mean, like, the innovation is going on currently in the market. The most fast chargers are coming in the market. There are multiple companies like Tesla has launched a fast charger.
Charging, yeah.
There are multiple innovation going on in this industry, and I mean, like, as you all are aware, that this industry is under innovation. So the technology change will definitely come, and I mean, the technology will definitely evolve in this. So on a broad side, this is how charge EV.
Interesting. And of course, just like petrol pumps, location determine a lot part of the success. So where do EV charging stations perform best today? Like, is it residential societies, malls, highways, fleet hubs? Like, which of these locations have you as Chargy realized that are the best of the locations for you to kind of install?
Okay, so this is one of the, I mean, like, great question. Or I mean, honestly, this is what entire industry is struggling to find out where the EV chargers will work.
True.
So I mean, see, it is very simple to find out where your chargers will work. So I mean, let's just give you an example. So in a real life, when you see that various malls have multiple chargers, but most of the chargers are underutilized, because we need to find out the tendency of users, where they are actually doing. So if you see, most of us, like normal people, most of the time we travel from our home to our office. And you can, and at this current point of time, the charging is a time taking process. So generally people require on an average 40 minutes from a fast charger to charge their vehicle from 20% to 80%. So I mean, in this fast moving world, these the real time taking, I mean, like, no one has this much of time that we can dedicate a certain amount of time for our EV charging. So these chargers are best located where people live, where people travel, kind of a thing. So for example, when I say AC chargers, so AC chargers are mostly good in areas like in residential areas. So for example, people go back to their home, they can put their vehicle charge in the AC charger, they can go back to their home, and in their application, because it's all digital application, they can see how much charging is completed, and once they have the notification that their charging is about to complete, they can come back and remove the charger, and I mean, like, their time has been saved. Whereas the fast chargers, I mean, like, they are best suited in the highways, in the fleet depots, or in those areas where we do not have much amount of time to stay.
True.
Apart from that, as we all know, that there are two type of customer exist in this market. When I say B2C customer, it's like normal people like you and me who all are having EV vehicle. Apart from that, there are multiple companies, or you can say the B2B customers, where logistic companies, cab companies, they are getting converted their vehicles into the EV vehicles.
True.
So
True.
we need to analyze the usage pattern of these logistic companies, where they are operating, or how they are operating. I mean, like what kind of charging they are required. So depending on those, we can have the DC chargers or the big fleet depots basis the data driven thing which we can derive from the usage pattern of these logistic players.
Makes sense. No, this is really interesting and really good to know. And of course, it makes a lot of sense because, of course, as you rightly said, that it's people would only dedicate time in places where they are spending time. So, of course, office is one use case and residential is another, where they have longer time to kind of do a slow charging per se. So, of course, let me ask you something interesting as well. So, if someone installs a charger today in the right location, could that charger become a petrol pump equivalent of the EV era of that area? Is that kind of the potential which an EV charging station has?
Yeah, I mean that's so it is a very interesting way to look at it. I mean, the EV charging stations are the future petrol pumps. So
Right.
in the EV world, we can say that early mover in the right location can definitely build a very strong advantage. It is very similar to how petrol pump established. I mean, like few many years back. So currently, what I see from the early mover perspective is that if you install a charger in a high potential area, say nearby a fleet hub or a fleet depot, or a transportation hub where most of these transportation activities take place, or a very busy urban cluster. So over the period of time, you are setting up the good kind of an infrastructure, and you are capturing the future demand. So as you know that when EV adoption grow, I mean, like it will mostly grows in the metropolitan area first, then it will move to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. In that, we need to build the user habits and the trust and the repeat customers. So early mover have all those advantage when we look at current point of time. So early movers will definitely gain all those kind of advantage.
True.
So I'll say कि unlike petrol pump, EV charging station is not about the location. It is about the network and the experience. So as I said earlier, that a single standalone charger will not definitely solve the entire problem. It has to be a part of larger, broader network where the users can build their trust in it. And definitely after having a trust, the repeat customers will definitely increase. And this is what I mean, like they will definitely become the future petrol pumps. I mean, what I feel by looking at the current situation over the period of like 5 years or 8 years, all these petrol pumps will get replaced by the charging stations only.
Interesting. And let's talk about economics. How does the EV charging station actually generates revenue?
So at a very basic level, it is a very simple mathematical formula. So revenue is generated. I mean, like the price per kilowatt multiplied by the energy dispensed from a charging station. It is similar to our home charging kind of a thing. So for example, in our home, how much whatever amount of units we consume. So for that only we have to give the electricity bill. It is similar to that only. Whatever amount of units consumed by an electric vehicle multiplied by the price per kilowatt will give us the revenue. So for example, let me give you an example. It all depends on the battery size, vehicle capacity. So for example, if a battery of let's say 25 kilowatt comes in an EV charging station, and let's assuming that the price per kilowatt is 20 rupees. So 25 kilowatt multiplied by 20 rupees is the 500 rupees is the revenue generated from that particular vehicle.
Interesting.
This is how in simple terms, the revenue generated by an EV charging station.
Interesting. And for someone watching this who owns a land or has access to good location, and they of course believe in this vision of Chargee and they want to become part of the Chargee network, how can they do that?
So honestly, this is one of the biggest opportunity, or you can say one of the hottest sector for investment at this point of time. So if you already have a land, or you have an access to the high potential location, so you can become you can make that particular area to a future ready revenue stream. So at Chargy, we have made it very simple to get started. We operate on a franchisee owned, franchisee operated model where we help partner to convert that location into a fully functional EV charging station. So all you need is like you need to have a good location and a basic civil work done. And apart from that, we need to take a electricity connection based on the charger capacity and the requirement. And Chargy handles an entire end-to-end journey for that particular partner. So we do the site
Makes
evaluation,
sense.
we do the planning, we provide charger, we provide all the electrical installation, we do the software app and the payment gateway integration. We help them in demand generation by partnering with fleet and the mobility players. And after that, also we provide the ongoing support and in terms of operation, in terms of marketing, and all other
Wow.
activities. So it is
Wow.
not like that the partner do not have much knowledge about this business. So we are there for them. They are not starting from scratch. They are joining a you can say a growing and the demand driven network of EV charging station.
Very interesting. So it's like a out of the box solution for them to getting started right away in the charging infrastructure domain. So that's really good to know. And you of course bring in your years of experience for them to get started right away, start making money in the charging domain. So really amazing to know what Chargy is up to and how you're of course enabling these partners. So any of our listeners who are of course listening from different cities, from different areas, who may own a land, who may own a locality area, has good want to get into the charging infrastructure layout, would of course could directly reach out to Chargy, and of course would get the right operational support to of course get your charging business right out of the box solution by Chargy. So
Correct.
so yeah, I mean good to know about that. And about this infrastructure business, these are of course all about timing. Why do you believe this is the right moment to invest in the EV charging infrastructure?
Absolutely. Then timing is everything in the infrastructure business. And as we all can see that we are at the inflection point of the EV charging adoption curve. I mean, like when you look back 2, 3 years back, the EV adoption was very slow and it was in the experimental phase. But now from the last 1 or 2 years, we are seeing the real momentum in this, especially in the two-wheelers and three-wheelers and the fleet segment. So, I mean, at this current point of time, we have normally seen most of the two-wheelers and three-wheelers vehicles are now converted into the electric vehicles. So we have already seen in our nearby locality that e-rickshaws, battery rickshaws, or the most of the two-wheelers which these Zomato and Swiggy peoples are using at this point of time, they are now converted into the EV fleet. And
Right.
similarly, most of the logistic players are now getting converted their fleet into EV fleet. So we all can see that this is the very good time where the adoption is increasing at a very good pace. And in order to increase the adoption, we actually need to increase our infrastructure thing. Once the infrastructure increases, EV adoption will definitely increase. So what typically happens in a very new technology, whenever a new industry is growing up, so once the product adoption started picking up, then we need to increase our infrastructure as well. And as you all know that government is also giving a very good push. There are multiple government schemes coming up in the market, like there are PME Drive scheme, FAME 2, where government is providing multiple kind of subsidies in installing EV chargers, and various state level subsidies as well, or various multiple plans from the government side as well, similar to this solar industry.
True.
Also, banks are also very much cooperative in terms of financing and all. There are, so for example, SBI has launched this SBI EV Mitra scheme, where they are providing a good amount of financing for the people who wanted to open their individual charging station. So what I feel, this is one of the best time to invest in EV charging station. Actually, we can see the gap, as you all know that the gap actually exists in this industry, as in your initial conversation, as you have highlighted that the vehicles had crossed 2 million, but the public charging infrastructure is still
Very limited.
less. So for 200 cars, we only have one charging station. So this is really a great opportunity, and the timing is right. And as I said, as I highlighted earlier, that early mover will definitely have an advantage in coming time. Well, yeah, I mean, what I feel is that next few years will define like who owns the key infrastructure in terms of EV charging.
No, I think very well put, Harshit. I think thanks for this overview, because with all the incentives aligned, with all the subsidies aligned, with government, banking system, everyone kind of supporting the ecosystem to kind of own the infrastructure, there's a lot more push which is going to happen in this direction. And of course, India EV market is still at its nascent stage. I mean, the penetration is still very low, and there is a lot more potential just ahead of us. So I see that. I mean, this is of course indeed the right time for anyone to kind of deep dive into it and set up these infrastructure, because early movers will get that advantage. So Chargy is of course very well placed to kind of do this. Let's just fast forward 5 years. When people look back at India's EV transition, what role do you think Chargy will have to play? And can you kind of quantify in terms of numbers? Like, is it the number of charging infrastructure? Is it in terms of the number of vehicles you want to charge? But like, what would be your mission, vision statement in the next 3 to 5 years? What would be the milestone you would set for Chargy to reach?
So we want, or what we have set our milestone is that we would want Chargy to be seen as a company that has helped India, or that build the backbone of EV adoption in India. Because when people will look back at this transaction, they just won't remember how many EVs were sold. They will definitely remember which network had seamlessly made this charging easy for them. So this is our
Right.
vision, that we are not, we, as I said earlier also, we are not building standalone chargers. We wanted to build a connected network where EV users can charge wherever they are, whether they are at their home, highways, fleet hubs, hotels, etc. So we wanted to make charging very reliable in terms of access, in terms of, you can say, trust, and we wanted to simplify charging for our EV users. Or when you say, if our goal in terms of next 5 years is that we wanted to create a network of 4,000 to 500 charging point connected across our network, across multiple places. Also,
Right.
we had set our target to open like 3 to 400 fleet charging hubs, which will be focused on the logistic hubs, last mile deliveries, or the taxi companies, etc. Also, we are aiming, I mean, like in the next 3 to 5 years, we are aiming that we should charge at least 50,000 EV vehicles per day.
Hmm.
So this is what we have, our long term vision, and we are constantly working in order to achieve our mission and the vision from the company point of view, as well as from the EV users point of view as well.
That's amazing. I think very, very nicely put. I think 50,000 EV vehicles charging in a day would really be a high utilization network you would have created for yourself. So that's really good to know what Chargy is eyeing in terms of milestone for the company. Now it's of course time for a rapid fire round. So I would want you to kind of answer quick answers and one word answers for the following questions. So one of the cities you're most excited about to expand into next?
I'll not say one city. We wanted to actually expand our network to all the metropolitan cities, because
Right.
we actually wanted to target fleet demands, because the fleet is the backbone of any country's economy. So our major goal, or what I have set milestone for me, that I wanted to see the transportation industry to be transitioned transitioning into the EV from the normal ICE vehicle to the EV vehicles. So
Right.
for this, our aim is to get into all the major metropolitan cities where the major transportation.
And if I ask you to pick one favorite one for you,
So favorite one, I'll say NCR only because we are at the NCR and we wanted to capture it as soon as possible.
makes sense. Chaji in one word for you.
So basically, I'll say we wanted to be known as the enabler for this entire EV industry.
Interesting. So you want to be the enabler.
Yeah.
So AC charging or DC charging, which will grow faster in India?
Definitely DC charging will grow faster because in this, as I said earlier, in this fast moving world, AC chargers will remain there. ऐसा नहीं है कि AC charger will vanish after some point of time. But as you all know that we are in a world which is moving very fastly. So DC chargers will definitely grow faster than AC chargers.
One quality every successful infrastructure partner must have.
So it is similar to the SIP that we should have a long-term mindset because at this current point of time, we are sitting in a place where this industry is evolving, and those who have patience and those who have a long-term mindset, they will definitely, I mean, like they will definitely win this race.
Interesting. And biggest myth about EV charging infrastructure?
So myths, I'll definitely say ki at this point of time is only the demand thing that people are thinking that we can open a charging station and demand will automatically come. But that myth will
Right.
automatically get solved after some point of time. But currently the myth which I see is that demand is not which will come automatically. It need to be built at this point of time.
Makes complete sense, Harshad. Electric vehicle, of course, may be the future of mobility. Behind every electric vehicle is something even more important, the energy infrastructure that powers it. And of course, Chargee is helping build that backbone for India. From a residential community to highway to logistic fleet, EV charging stations are becoming the new energy nodes of the electric era. And Harshad, thanks a lot for joining us today and sharing these insights with our users, with us. And of course, I enjoyed the conversation a lot. This episode of the Success Playbook, of course, will be very interesting for all our listeners out there.